give us your assessment of that game.
I mean, it's getting a bit old, the losing, obviously, but it's still early in the year, unfortunately for us. That way, I mean, we have the right mindset. We go in, we have a disappointing weekend. We lick our wounds, we build them up. That way, we have pretty good practice. And then we start to, we start the game pretty well that way. And then we just have these patches against really good basketball teams that let us down. If it's coming into the game cold and missing a closeout or missing something, or and putting pressure, like if there's a coaching mistake that way as well. I'm not going to just blame guys. It's just this one or two things that sort of spiral into a lot of mistakes in the row before we bring it back. On the other hand, right now, I didn't have to blow all my timeouts to get them motivated. They sort of dealt with little things on the road. I thought there was a group just before the second half where we sort of, we sort of threw a lineup out there. They've been good for us in the past, and it sort of wasn't great that way. And then we're playing catch up to one of the better teams in the league, so that's never going to work. But other than that, the turnover count is down. We won the rebound count. The shots weren't disgusting today. It's just some little things right now. And we said that in the before with the team is we need to do all the little things right against this basketball team, and we didn't. So you can't really pinpoint on it right now, as obviously because I got no video. But there'll be some things where, well, this is why we lost. This is why we lost that way.
I know you're writing in the timeouts continually about defence, but it's the worst defence in the league. Tonight, giving up 101 points. Where's the D at? And is part of the offence not flowing because of the defensive?
Yeah, definitely. We're putting a lot of pressure on our offence. That way is, we tried to lock into Clark and Goulding. I don't know if their numbers were great, but they hit some big ones through a lapse of defensive pressure. And then Hukporti had a really good game today. So not that we were going to live with what he did today, but you're always going to give something up. But I thought Illy, the one thing that killed us was Illy just got into the paint whenever he wanted, and that was probably, when you look at it, if I remember defensively, our biggest problem there and then. But it's got to be fixed. We've said it for a while. Everyone's talking about it. No one's you're not a brain surgeon by saying when teams that keep scoring 100 on us, we're not going to win basketball games because we're scoring enough.
I think it was 0-9 into three-quarter time from your 1-6 going in. Was that, you put that down to, is that shot selection? Is that just shooters' luck? Sometimes they just don't drop for it. Or you put those sort of long patches without getting the bucket sort of down to those sort of key moments?
Yeah, I thought that was the moment that sort of defined the thing. And again, I don't want to, I'll speak to guys in the room privately, this and that, whatever, but that was a bad lineup. That was a bad patch for us, not lineup, patch for us. So whatever it was, if guys were fatigued, if we kept guys in there too much, if it was just a funky lineup that we haven't worked long at practice, or if it's just a bit of where it just, because I know there were a couple that rolled, Greta had a couple that rolled in and out as well that would have been nice to go through the net. You know what I mean? But again, I'll label, and I'll finish with answering the question how I finished the last one is, you're putting too much pressure on your offense. You know what I mean? We scored 91 points today against a pretty good defensive team, or maybe one of the better ones in the league. You know what I mean? And we were able to score 91 points against it right now. So, I'm answering the same thing is, we just didn't get enough stops, and we're playing it. So whoever it is, we just got to make sure we do it that way.
Yeah, it felt good.
How did you find it sort of out there getting that sort of taste? Obviously, you had away a little bit, you had that bit of setback with your nose and everything else. How was it out, not just tonight, but your introduction?
No, it felt really good out there. I felt really comfortable, just need more reps, but I felt really good.
What's the NBL like generally, AJ? basketball you used to play
Mm.
in the States?
I would say it's a little more. It's a lot more physical. You know, just playing against grown men. You know, coming out of high school and stuff. And I would say like the intensity of just everything. You know, goes up a lot.
You've had to be patient, like you said, for that
Yeah.
opportunity. Is that something you're willing to keep doing as the season goes on, and sort of biding the time on for those minutes to come?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Was it the fact that the foul trouble and the few bad calls the difference tonight, Jacob, or did you think something else?
No, I think, like I said, I mean, they scored 101 points, we scored 91. I mean, we could look at it, the foul count, we can look at the free throw count, this and that. This is the NBL, this is what happens in this league. You know what I mean? That way there's some things that, you know, you sort of go back and look at it, and sometimes you think you were right on the day with a foul where you think it's not a foul, and sometimes you're wrong when you look back at the video and that is. But right now I mean, like I said, we scored 91 points against a good defensive team, but we let 101 go, right? And again, we could, if we did get some stops, we could probably score some more points. You know what I mean, in that space. And it's a simple part of the game. It's something that I mean, everyone's going to have an opinion on, but I think we got guys that can sort of guard a bit that way. But you know, it's the will of us all right now to go to the bones of it, and we are in a bad. We're not in a bad spot, but we're in a gloomy spot right now. Maybe some residual from last year, maybe just the fact that we've lost a couple in a row, and especially at home, and we don't want to play catch up all the time. But the reality of it is, on Sunday when we get back together, we got to go to the video, we got to go to the bones, and it's personal. And again, the lucky thing is we do have depth, and some guys are going to rise to this thing, and some guys aren't. All right, and if guys drop off, they're going to make my life a lot easier by making the rotations a little bit tighter. But I mean, you don't have to be. I mean, my dad doesn't know anything about basketball, and he's they scored 100 points again, Jake. You know what I mean? That's the reality of it.
AJ, you played 6 minutes, made both your shots, one from range. Going through the stats line here, 2 rebounds, had an assist. Seemed to provide great energy and a bit of a spark.
Mm-hmm.
What were you most happy about your 6 minutes time? What pleased you?
Probably just us getting on a run and getting us some energy. For sure, yeah.
Have you been motivated by watching other next stars around the league step up?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, for sure.
Is there been one in particular that you thought was going well?
Probably just all of them. I mean, yeah, those are my guys. They're all playing really good, so just making me want to play good.
How do you assess this one, knowing that you've got Cairns on Thursday and then you've got United again the following Sunday?
Well, you got to assess it. Is what you say is you can win a basketball game if you guard. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty simple game plan. You know, that ways. But you know, it's probably the hardest thing to pick yourself up on the mat and hear that, because it's really simple. Everyone wants the big answers, this and that, whatever. There's no complicating this game right now. We've got offensive talent. We've got to make sure that we keep that score below. You know what I mean? Really below 90 to win. Below 90 to win basketball games in this league.